Hello everybody, this is OK Noble and welcome to my first devlog. So before we get into the game, I just want to mention that I pretty much have before this game at least, I had no experience, pretty much, at least. Like, most of the games were basically game ideas, they weren't really even games, so this is my first game where I really got this far with it, and I've stuck with it for so long. So I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, no experience in art, no experience in coding really. All I really did was watch a bunch of tutorials, and I still couldn't understand it. I'm more of a learn as I go kind of thing, kind of guy. I don't know. But yeah, so let's get into the little screenshots I got. So this first photo is the earliest photo of the development, because I actually have no gameplay footage of back then. This is basically the earliest photo I have of the game, so there's not really much to explain here, but the little gray box is the player. The little kind of turret kind of thing right next to him is something that's actually still in the game, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like a poison kind of turret. If it hits an enemy, it will, damage them like poison. Like they'll get hit, and then they'll go away. Yeah, so I should probably explain a little bit of how the game works. I'll summarize it in like the most basic way possible. You start at the standard like 2D platformer kind of level kind of thing, where you start at the left and you go to the right, you get to the end, except there's a portal at the end, and the portal at random times will throw a wave of enemies at you. So that's kind of, and the closer you get, the more enemies that will be thrown at you. So say 5 at the start of the level, like in the first like little third of the level, you'll get like 5 enemies, and once you're really close to the portal, 15 enemies if a wave starts at that point. So it's around like 20, 30, 40 seconds right now at least. And also maybe the levels will change. They won't stay left to right completely. I don't want to, none of this stuff is completely final, right? So I'm still open to change a little bit, but a little bit. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. Just the player and the little poison turret, and that's pretty much it. Alright, this has way more stuff. I forgot to mention that the art style wasn't decided right away. It was really either pixel art or hand-drawn is what I was thinking. Realized hand-drawn would be 500 times more difficult for me. Even though pixel art's really difficult as well for me, because I'm not really good at stuff, but yeah, so I decided on pixel art, as you can see. And here's a bunch of sprites floating up in the air, all of which at this point in time, and by this point in time I mean when this picture was taken, none of this had any functionality at all. But in terms of what we do have at this point is the HUD in the bottom left. It shows how many of each equipment type you have. So the shield just gives you a little bit more health. The poison turret, it has a little new sprite kind of thing. It's kind of like a frost pad kind of thing. If the enemies go on it, they will just get slower for a little while. Yeah, and there's also pickups now, so you could actually pick them up off the floor. As you can see, they're like the little floating things that are kind of like transparent. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this picture. Yeah, so these are, I might as well point out these are all demons. All the main enemies are demons, all the red ones. Everything, I kind of trying to stick to a style with it. All of the kind of red and dark red and yellow kind of things. I'm trying to keep to the demons, so that's kind of the style going for. There's also all these other guys, which are kind of more like the wildlife of this like ice planet kind of thing. Um, so yeah, like they're gonna be more of the, or at this point they're actually pretty much done. I'm not gonna show you guys this right now, but they're pretty much done. But yeah, they kind of just like interact with you and the enemies, or the main enemies, the demons, in cool ways. And we'll get to that in the next one, so I don't want to stay too focused on that. This next picture, let's just point out the obvious. That mountain looks disgusting. Alright, I'm sorry. It looks really bad. Um, so yeah, like, I tried. Let's just say I tried. I didn't look at references, I guess. Um, but yeah, so there's a few like background layers. Um, I don't actually have parallax because the way the game works is the camera doesn't actually follow you. It's more like you get to the end of the screen and then you go to another camera. That's pretty much how it works currently. Um, Two more things to explain. The green box in the middle is like a jump pad, so if you jump on it, you jump really high. The orange box basically gives you enhanced. I think it gives you at this point more health and stronger bullets for a little while, or a stronger laser. You'll see what the weapon is like in a minute. Also, I forgot to mention the player sprite. That's definitely gonna, or I know it changes. I don't know why I'm like acting like I don't know what's about to happen. All right, there it is. Okay, changed. Um, so here's another enemy. At this point, I was working on those three like demon enemies. You haven't seen like the main ones in any of these pictures, but you'll see them in a bit, because currently the one that is shown on the screen doesn't work, and the other two that don't work currently. So there's a little health bar in the bottom, and that's pretty much it. All the demons can jump, climb, and crouch. Just want to point that out. So, alright, here we go. Forgot to point out that I learned how to make shadows in 2D, so I think that makes it look a lot better. And the obvious thing, the high amounts of post-processing going on here. Yeah, so I toned this down a bit, as it looks good, but I didn't want too much of it. So yeah. Also, there's a little extra bar if you look at the very bottom left, under all of the other HUD elements. There's a little bar there for an ability that you're gonna see in a minute. Alright, here's the final picture. This is pretty recent. There's a lot going on here. The little box in front of the player with the purple carvings out of it, or whatever, carving markings, whatever. That's basically the orange bot, so it gives you more health, and I don't even know if it does give you more health. don't even know my own game. But it makes your bullets stronger or your laser stronger or whatever. Um, the little XP bar kind of thing, that's not the same bar. That's well, I just kind of gave it away, the green XP bar. The orange bar was actually that other bar you saw in the other one, which is basically like a ground pound ability, like charge. So once it's charged up fully, you can do a ground pound. It causes a little bit of fire, as you'll see in a minute, and it knocks enemies back. It's pretty cool, I think. There's new sprites for all of the equipment. Um, the green like jump pad turned into that yellow and gray kind of thing on the bottom right kind of thing, right next to that little tree. And I'll explain the blue thing in the middle later. And the last thing would probably be the arrows. They're just teaching the controls. There's nothing crazy about them. So yeah, let's get to the video of gameplay of a pretty current version of the build, or the game, I mean. So yeah. Alright, so this is the game. As you can see, I think it looks pretty good. There I am picking up stuff. See, as that's how the camera works. You could crouch too. You could double jump. Forgot to mention that. There I am placing the equipment for the poison turret. And when the screen turns red, that's the sign that the wave is coming. So I think it's pretty cool. The snow gets all out of whack. And as you can see, I'm placing down the equipment. The enemies are coming. They're all getting slowed down and poisoned. There's a bunch of XP on the floor. That's what those little green spheres or circles are, considering it's a 2D game. As you can see, the enemy could crouch, but if he hits you, it actually makes you slower. If it's the big demon, he actually makes you slower. You have the ability to just get rid of them after you're done, just in case you get stuck or something like that. But here's the ground pound. It causes that cool little effect. It's not final. None of the particles are final because, as you can see, they don't really fit the pixel art. Those were like demon blocks that I just shot. This level isn't final either, as you can see, as it's just a bunch of nothingness. But yeah, I'm more trying to get like polished down the main features of the game down before I really go into development of the levels and stuff. Yeah, see, as I mentioned earlier, as you go along, there's more and more enemies. As the wave starts, they come at random points between like 20-30 seconds, something like that. It's actually random, the timer, so it's always not really predictable. Yeah, so this is like a gatekeeper kind of thing for the portal. He's not really a boss, kind of like a mini boss, a tiny bit. But basically, to win the level, you just have to destroy him. As you can see, I just knocked him back with the ground pound. And then, yeah, if those little particles, by the way, he's throwing hit you, then you get hit, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This was a long video for the first one. I guess that's pretty much it. See you later.